You're with Kat Feeney on ABC Radio Brisbane and Gold Coast.
It's got no intrinsic value whatsoever. I'm changing tack here slightly. In fact, it's worth only what you're willing to pay for it. But some people say it's the future of finance and a surefire way to make millions. So, what is cryptocurrency? Is it really a risk-free way to make money? Some answers coming your way right after this.
Yoa, Naiba, Stephen Coghill, Nariba, Malara, Buan Yagara, Kabi Kabi, Malara, Nari, Yalwa, Yagara, Yalwa. And you are listening to ABC Radio.
Journey to another world as ABC Classic brings you the Classic 100 Music for the Screen. From Game of Thrones to The Crown, from Mario Brothers to Final Fantasy, from Jaws to Star Wars. Celebrate your favourite music from film, television and gaming with Australia's biggest weekend of classical music. The Classic 100 Music for the Screen. Log in to vote now at abc.net.au/classic.
You're listening to Kat Feeney on ABC Radio Brisbane and Queensland.
It's 1:15. It's described as a way to liberate yourself from the big banks, said to be the wave of the future. And celebrities from Kim Kardashian to Floyd Merriweather have been spruiking it as their investment of choice. Cryptocurrency, virtual money, no banknotes, no coins, not in any physical sense. So why are so many people saying it's an easy way to make millions? And just how do you invest in cryptocurrency and what are some of the risks involved? Well, Phil McGann is the Director of Claritude Financial Planning here in Brisbane. And Phil, first things first, what is a simple explanation of cryptocurrency and how it works?
Afternoon, Kat. Nice to have be on the show today. Basically, the easiest way to explain crypto, I suppose, it goes back to what the technology behind it is. We've heard of blockchain, and how blockchain works is actually a distributed ledger. So it's basically allowing people to make transactions in an open format where everyone can see and no one can change the outcomes. And really what cryptocurrency is trying to get using blockchain to actually make it a digital currency, to actually make it easy to transact with peer-to-peer, those sorts of scenarios. So it can be a very complicated thing to explain, but the end result is you need blockchain to actually have cryptocurrencies, but cryptocurrency is basically an offshoot of blockchain. And blockchain is a legitimate technology which has been around for a little while now, and it's very the future of technology really in many guises, people feel.
Right. So the blockchain technology has merit. Cryptocurrency is an expression of blockchain technology. And the question is, what exactly is crypto and what are some of the pitfalls or possible advantages of putting your real money into cryptocurrency?
Correct.
Now, we heard earlier from a crypto investor. This is what he had to say, just in case you missed it.
Crypto, to the younger generation, represents a revolution in the way we see money. The majority of the younger generation lacks a lot of trust in the government, in banks, and in the way they run things. I feel like crypto is almost a freedom, for us. Crypto is like, you know what? I'll take care of my money. I'll hold my money. I'll use it the way I choose to use it. I don't want to have to pay fees and pay all these things just to use the money that I work so hard for.
Now, that was someone called Slum Doge Millionaire, and you'll hear more from him this evening on ABC TV's Four Corners program. He reckons he made $1 million in 2 months. Is cryptocurrency mainly something that young people are taking an interest in, Phil, from what you can see?
Yeah, look, it's definitely attractive to the millennial generation, people of more younger who are a bit wary of establishments and traditional sort of way of doing things. And this has really been, they're more tech savvy than the older generation. They're more comfortable living online. They do a lot of things transactional that way. This is just a normal extension for them to say, why do I need to go to a bank? Why do I need to do anything in the real world when I can do things online? So having digital currencies is just second nature to them. That's not an issue at all. And that comment that you had the clip there, the wariness of people dealing with big banks and big tech and things like that, the digital currencies and blockchain really sort of helps them break away from that. And they can see, well, why do I need those middlemen in the middle clipping the ticket when I can actually just deal directly with other people out there? That's what the real attraction of it is as well.
But coming back to that idea that you've got the blockchain technology and cryptocurrency as an expression of that technology, these are people who are tech savvy. Are they financially savvy,
no,
money savvy?
Look, I don't think as much as they think they are, because it's very much a very high-end speculation. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Because the cryptocurrency, being the offshoot of blockchain effectively, is, I've heard it described as the lubricant of the new regime, the new technology. It's digital currency. You need to actually have it to actually do transactions. But is it really the panacea that everyone thinks it is?
Well, this is where it gets interesting, because you're licensed as a financial planner.
Correct.
And that actually doesn't cover advice about crypto.
No.
So
no.
why is that?
Now, the reason that is because crypto is an unregulated market. Now, I'm a licensed financial planner. I can give advice on lots of different areas that are regulated, but this is an unregulated market, so I cannot give advice directly on cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and the like. Now, that really goes to the heart of it. It's an unregulated marketplace. I look across out the window behind you, Kat, and the casino is over the road. That's a regulated casino. You go in there, you play blackjack or whatever you want to do, and you know what the odds are to a certain extent. This is unregulated. You don't know what you're getting into, and that's why a lot of people describe the cryptocurrency market as an unregulated casino. You don't know really what you're getting into. And another fact and figure is there is actually over 10,000 digital currencies in the marketplace as at the moment. Everyone's heard of Bitcoin and Ethereum, the larger two. 10,000, that is just ridiculous. You know.
So interesting. And just a reminder, of course, that our conversation this afternoon is a chat that's general in nature. And as you've heard, the cryptocurrency market is unregulated. And if you are seeking advice, then you should speak to an appropriate professional. You're joined in studio today by Phil McGann from Claritude Financial Planning. And my name is Kat Feeney. We're speaking about cryptocurrency ahead of the Four Corners show Crypto Mania, which airs tonight on ABC TV at 8:30. Let's just talk a little bit more about what we will be learning more this evening on Four Corners. One of the analysts on this evening's program is John Reed Stark, Phil. And this is the former chief of the US Securities and Exchange Commission. Worked for decades in law enforcement, specialising in online violations. This is what he had to say about cryptocurrency.
I believe it's one big Ponzi scheme. That's how I feel about cryptocurrency. It has no underlying intrinsic value. And the main reason that people invest in cryptocurrency is because they believe that there's a greater fool out there.
Is that fair, Phil?
That is very fair, very fair. I mean, it's the old story. There's no intrinsic value. Think about if you own Bitcoin, there's no interest on your investment. There's no dividend, there's no rent, so to speak. So it's really only a case of the capital value or the appreciation in the underlying currency, finding someone else to sell it to. So the greater fool is that, as your commentator just said, someone out there thinking, well, it's worth more than I paid for it, someone else will buy it from me. That's a Ponzi scheme, effectively. Now, back to the legitimacy of blockchain is good, but some of the values ascribed to Bitcoin and the like is a bit out there, to the extent that Bitcoin in the last 6 months has dropped 60% in value. Now, that's not a legitimate investment asset, so to speak, when something jumps around up and down by 5 or 10% on a daily basis. That's a very speculative investment or an instrument trying to get value from.
It's all very interesting, though, because you consider that and then you think about the fact that El Salvador's made Bitcoin its official currency. I mean, that a government or a state actor would take action such as that, in some people's minds, might legitimise cryptocurrency, Phil?
How would you feel that the actual taxpayers of El Salvador at the present time, when their Bitcoin investments that they've sunk a lot of the country's assets into, is down 60% in the last 6 months? So, look, I don't think that sort of scenario is a good indictment of why it's a great idea to get into. That seems very much out there.
If someone has invested in crypto and they now want out, is there a way to do that without losing money? Can you even talk about?
No.
Okay.
You basically you are investing in something that has a value ascribed to it in the marketplace. There's no guarantee you'll get your money back, and the only way you can actually trade it is on a marketplace for cryptocurrencies. And like I say, there is thousands and thousands of them out there. There's a few leading markets in the US in particular, but there's a lot of illegitimate ones as well out on the different forms of the web. So it's just very unregulated. So there's no protection. Could it be
regulated? I mean,
it could be. It could be. There is a lot of
there
is a lot of talk amongst central banks in the world, Federal Reserve in the US, even the Reserve Bank of Australia, talking about having a digital form of our own currency. But this isn't digital currency in the same way that Bitcoin is. It's basically having an asset, particularly in the Chinese market. They've been talking about it for a while and testing it out, that they could actually have a digital form of the local currency, and then they could actually stimulate the parts of their economy by giving currency out, that sort of idea. But with the time frame that you've got to spend it in 30 days and then it extinguishes. So it's a digital form of what you've already got, not paper and coins. This isn't it. That's backed by a government. And that's one of the attractions for people in the crypto world. They say, we don't want the government controlling everything. But you need the government issuing legal tender to make a society function well. Otherwise, you get into a very unregulated space like we've got. And the thing for me being the crypto market is like an unregulated casino, but also it attracts a lot of nefarious people and crimes and those sorts of things. Ransomware is a big thing. If you get caught by a ransomware, they don't ask for US dollars anymore. They ask for Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, and then we think about the rise of cashless bank branches, right, which is itself fascinating. And
yes,
then
true.
You think about the early days of the colony in Australia where there was the currency shortage. There were not enough pounds to go around, so people used to pay each other in promissory notes and IOUs.
Correct. But there's always something backing that up as well to a certain extent, whereas a lot of these currencies are just issued. You and I could issue one tomorrow. There's no regulation. So you could come up with a good name, find a famous actor to promote it, and next thing you know, you'd be in business. Now, that's not a legitimate asset class in that regard. So that's it's just a bit of a dangerous scenario. I think this will all come out when you see Four Corners tonight, obviously, as well.
I think it's going to be a really interesting program. Phil McGann, thank you very much for your time and insight. Phil McGann with Claritude Financial Planning, and you can watch the Four Corners show Cryptomania this evening, ABC TV, 8:30, or anytime you like on ABC iView.
On your radio and online.
At home or on the road.
This is ABC Radio.